I'm broadcast reporter Jessica Greif, joined here by Billy Gates, who is the Oregonian's high school sports producer. And we are here to talk about high school wrestling state championships, which start on Friday, go till Saturday at the Veterans Memorial Coliseum. And this was an event that generated a lot of interest last year. Tell us a little bit about that. What some of the most readership we saw for high school sports?
Yeah, I mean, I don't recall the exact numbers, but I mean, it was our third highest traffic, event of the entire year last year. And I mean, there's a lot of people want to know what's going on. I mean, it's every class, pretty much every wrestling team in the state is there, depending on how many guys they qualified for the tournament. But I mean, there's a net that's cast really wide, and there's a lot of people who want to know how their favorite high school wrestler did. So yeah, I mean, it's a ton of fun. Makes long days for us, but it's a ton of fun.
Definitely. So what are some of the things that people should be paying attention to this weekend?
Well, as far as wrestlers themselves go, there are two wrestlers that have a chance to win their fourth consecutive state championship. So that means they've won a state title every year they've been in high school, which is pretty awesome. It's pretty rare. In the 3A division, Hans Rockwell, he is competing in the 132-pound bracket. He's got a shot to win his fourth state championship. He's the number one seed. Odds are he's going to do it, but hey, anything can happen at the state tournament. And Crescent Valley's Alex Rich in the 5A division. He's at 138 pounds, also the top seed there. So both those kids have a really good chance at making their own place in history, which is pretty cool. It's a really cool thing about this tournament.
Sure.
And as far as the 6A wrestlers go, I've picked out OSAA Odigizua. It's a handful.
That's a mouthful.
Mouthful to say, yeah. He's a heavyweight from David Douglas. He's the number one seed. He's a junior. He's hasn't hardly been challenged this season, so he's the odds-on favorite to win the heavyweight division. And there are two brothers from 6A Power Roseburg, sophomore and a senior, Lane Van Anroy and Cole Van Anroy, come from a long line of really, really good Roseburg wrestling Van Anroys. It's a big family thing they have down there. Lane is number one seed at 152. Cole is at 138. So kind of a family affair, if you will, for Roseburg. And so as far as, kids go, I mean, that's kind of how it shakes out for me.
Sure.
When it comes to the team championship race, the more guys you can qualify for this tournament, the better your chances are, because you have more chances to score points and everything like that. It's kind of turned into a big math formula eventually. We talked about Roseburg earlier. They have 19 guys qualified for the tournament. When you think about that, there's 14 weight classes. So obviously they're doubled up in some of the weight classes. So 19 is a really good number to have at the tournament to potentially win it. Crook County and 4A, they qualified 20 guys for this thing, which is insane. And NISA at the 3A level, they've qualified 17. And at the 5A level, 3 teams have qualified 18, Eagle Point, Crater, and Sandy. So, I mean, the 5A division, as far as the team race goes, is the most wide open. Hermiston has won 8 state championships in the past 9 years, but they only have 15 guys qualified. So they're gonna have to do some work if they want to keep up their streak. So I think the 5A team race is really the most intriguing.
Sure. And you'd mentioned earlier before we started this video that it's not just boys wrestling this weekend.
Right, yeah. For the first time, the OSAA is going to actually have a little bit of a girls' tournament. They're going to have 10 weight classes for the girls to compete in, 4 girls per bracket. So, I mean, it's not nearly as big as the boys' tournament, but it's a start. And girls' wrestling is really starting to pick up in the United States. It's a growing sport, and it's really nice to see the OSAA really recognize that and get the girls some time on the mat, because, I mean, that's something they love to do, too. So, I mean, it's really nice. And actually, there's a girl in the 2A division from Reedsport, Kaylin Hicksonbaugh, that qualified to be in the boys tournament. So she's going to compete with the boys. She finished second in her district, and she's going to compete in the 113-pound class in the boys division. So
Kaylin
Hicksonbaugh.
Okay, all right. Pay attention to that name. So like you said, long days. We have quite a crew covering this event. How can readers stay engaged through this weekend on Oregon Live?
Every match that's wrestled, you go to trackwrestling.com. It's a place where you can get the most up-to-date, really point-by-point match information, as well as OregonLive.com/high school. We're going to be there working our tails off for everybody Friday and Saturday. And yeah, those are the places you need to be.
Sure, and we have some preview posts up as well, so
Yeah.
we'll link you to that inside this post. And thanks, Billy, and we'll see more this
Absolutely.
weekend.
Yep, should be fun.